What's up, champ? I'm Vince Del Monte of VinceDelMonteFitness.com, and in this video I am going to give you guys the ultimate ab cue to get rock solid abs. Abs of steel, the trophy of all trophies, whatever you want to call them. And I want to give you guys something that you can use at home. If you've got no equipment, this cue is, I would consider, magic. Because there's no such thing as a magical exercise. Because if you do the exercise wrong, you're wasting your time. But what I want to give you is what to think about when you're doing your abdominal exercises. Specifically, anything that involves the crunch, anything that works everything but the hips down. So this video is dedicated to the primary function of the abdominals, which is spinal flexion, spinal extension. And just right there, if you don't get anything else out of this video, that should be the thing you take away from this video. Am I applying the function of the abdominals? To get into the hips, it's a little more complicated, something we're gonna save for another video. But what I want you to do is I want you to just come down onto your knees. We're gonna do this together. And I wanna give you guys some context. When I was preparing for my last couple of fitness model shows, I was working with IFBB Pro Ben Pikowski, and he was having me do a lot of abdominal stuff and just teaching me how to control my abdominals and really just drilling this cue into my head. Spinal extension, spinal flexion, spinal extension, spinal flexion. And that's what I want you guys to practice. Before you start going into crunches and leg raises and all these other exercises, you've got to get this one cue down. Because I could show you guys something really fancy. We could do some really fancy stuff. I could show you 12 killer exercises, but if you do them without this cue, you're wasting your time. You're gonna dump the load into other areas, your hips are gonna pick it up, your abs aren't gonna get anything, all right? And you're just gonna end up sore and tight, all right? And you're gonna wonder why your abs are still flat. They're not popping. So, just on your knees, I want you just to practice flexing your spine. As you can see, there's not a ton of movement. Anything more and it's coming from my lower spine, or it's coming from even my shoulders. You know, I'm just kind of rotating my shoulders. I want you guys just to flex your spine forward and find that end point. And then I want you to extend your spine. So here's the ultimate cue. You guys ready? It's rib cage to pelvis. And then extend. Rib cage to pelvis. And then extend. Rib cage to pelvis. And then when you're in this shortened position, you don't just lean back and let it off. You let it off 1 inch at a time. So it's flex down, contract hard, and then release the tension inch by inch. All right? So we want to keep constant tension on in both directions. Extend the spine, flex the spine. Extend the spine, flex the spine. And the reason we're doing it from this position is I want you to learn how to do this without your hips. Okay, because once we go down to the floor, what most people tend to do is they just pick up a lot of slack from their hips and it comes off the abdominals. So now we're going to take that same cue and apply it to a crunch. So on the floor, you guys should practice this. I want you guys to shorten up your abdominals, create that tension, and then just start pulling your rib cage to your hips. Think about your spine flexing forward, down. So we're bringing this stuff on top of this stuff, okay? And then we're extending it backwards. Flex forwards and down hard. And then extend backwards without just losing it. The harder you squeeze, the more your abdominals are gonna shake. And then extend. So that's the big cue. I wanna just give you guys one more thing to avoid. And this has come from, I believe, the Pilates world. I did a bit of research. And there's this cue in the Pilates world where they tell you to pull your tummy down to the floor. And I think it's because they think they're activating the transverse abdominals. I don't understand exactly why they say to do that, but it makes zero sense. And I'll give you an analogy. The equivalent of that is like taking a water hose and twisting it and then trying to water the grass. If you twist the water hose, are you going to get any output? No. The water is going to get stuck inside. You're not going to be able to water the grass. And when you twist the hose, when you pull your tummy down to the floor, essentially you're taking away your ability to contract your abdominals. So you're basically taking away your potential to fatigue them and build them. So I've heard a lot of people use this cue. I believe it comes from that world. It's an ineffective cue. It makes zero sense. Avoid it. And when you're doing your abdominals, just think about the thing that I told you, which is bringing your rib cage to your pelvis. You're going to get eye-popping abs. You're going to get a better ab workout. And if you're not applying that one cue, then you're not training abdominals as well as you could. And that will help you determine which exercises are good ones for you, because that goes for any type of flexion exercise, all right? Because a lot of people try to do these exercises that are too advanced and they aren't able to apply that. It just means that exercise is requiring too much from you, and the best place to start is down there on the floor, all right? So there's the one cue, the ultimate cue that you need. You can take that into your home gym. You don't need equipment. And with whatever exercise you've got on your program, as long as you're applying that, you're going to get far more out of it than me showing you 10 or 12 different magical exercises that will do nothing for you if you're doing them wrong. Okay, guys, let me know what you guys want me to cover in my next video. And if you haven't taken my muscle fiber type quiz, it's the next thing you want to do, because if you want to get great abs, you also need to know how to program them in terms of reps and sets and rest periods, and it needs to be tailored to what your core muscle fiber type is. So if you don't know what it is, you can take that quiz and I'll help you figure it out. And if you're watching this on your phone, click the first link in the description box below so you can get that answer, and then I'll tell you how to start modifying your training to your core muscle fiber type so that you can get faster results in less time. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, there's only one way to live, and that's living large. Peace out.